Hey, 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 it's Filter Free Friday, y'all. Listen, I am so glad y'all are here. I must say that when I was in high school, I had one of those t shirts that said, I'm more Malcolm and not Martin. And I thought I was doing something, honey. I thought I was being bold, that I was saying that I was a G, that I was about it. And what I have recently come to realize, if you just think about things that have happened this week, am I trying to get shot in the face when tyranny is standing right in front of me? You know, Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday observed is on Monday. It's still a federal holiday for now. And when I consider his life, um, the man was assassinated because he was taking a very strategic approach to nonviolent resistance in a way that got him arrested 29 times, got his house bombed, and ultimately again ended in his assassination. Would I do that? And I think as we consider what is going on in our world right now, we have to ask ourselves, are we really willing? Like, it's easy for me to be behind my keyboard and send my notes and talk about what I think people need to do. In fact, if I'm being honest, I have to regularly just think about, am I adding any value as I am pushing us to not be hypocritical, to do have courage in the face of fear? Would I, if I was working at a Ford plant and the president was there, would I tell him that he's protecting pedophiles? Would I say that? So I ain't in no danger of getting shot in the face. The worst thing that could happen to me in that moment is to get flipped off. And who cares? But I also know corporations, and corporations will fire you in a minute. They done suspended that man. But here's what's beautiful. Here's what's beautiful. And here's what I'm excited about. Last I checked, his GoFundMe was at $800,000. And, but what if that ain't the reaction? What if you do get fired and nothing happens? This week, Colvin died. And if you don't know that name, she was a teenage girl who would sit down on the for the Montgomery bus boycotts before. She set the stage for Rosa Parks, but many of the leaders of the movement didn't think she should be the face of the movement. They had like three reasons. She's 15. They thought she was too young. She was also pregnant or maybe had a child. I'm not sure. And then because we still suffer from colorism, and we were suffering from colorism then, they thought she was too dark to be the face of the movement. But you know what's amazing about her? Think about a 15-year-old child in the segregated South, surrounded by evil, and deciding that, you know what, I'm not getting up today. I ain't going to do it. And I think that's why the children's movement was so effective. You know, young people, you don't always have to tell young people what's right and what's wrong. They know, they feel it in here. And there's a righteous indignation. And I don't know if it's ignorance or what, but what I do know is those of us who are older, it is time for us to pass the torch to these folks who are courageous, because youth gives them courage to do some of the unthinkable. And I'm so proud. You know, when I hear people say these young people today, I'm like, well, it's these young people today who are standing up at university going, you know, I don't care if I get kicked out of here, that I'm going to do what's right. I'm going to stand up and I'm going to say what's right. And I'll tell you, tonight I'm going to be the keynote for the Martin Luther King celebration at Oasis Church at 6:30 tonight. And I am most excited about Baba Mickey Dean being on the panel, because this brother was in the Deep South, putting his body on the line and saying, this is not okay. And every generation has its moment. It's time where it's supposed to prove, to show and prove. It's one thing to say, you know, I am my ancestors. It's another thing to keep your mouth quiet in the face of tyranny. And too many of us are keeping our mouths quiet in the face of tyranny. What I'm excited about tonight, and I hope you'll show up, is that we are hoping to inspire action, not inflame inaction. You know, like sometimes we get so angry and there's nowhere for that anger to go. It isn't even helpful. So what does it look like to have a righteous indignation that fuels and guides you into what's next? Anyway, child, I have been pushed to reevaluate my own, what does courage look like for me right now? And I hope that you will do the same. It's Filter Free Friday. We got plenty of work to do.